back in the studios, accompanied with Mr. Andrew Harris, a former host of the Youth Flex radio show, and our guest, Mr. Stuart Wilson. Hello, Mr. Stuart Wilson. Welcome to the Flex.
Hi, good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm a singer, songwriter, guitarist, also a writer. Most people in the community know me from my work as a journalist, and some of the releases I've done musically as well.
Wow, that's a lot.
No, it's because I'm old. That's the only reason why.
Oh no.
I've had lots of time to do these things. It's not that I've done a lot. It's just I've had lots of time to do it.
Okay. So, Mr. Wilson, we heard that you are chart-topping all over the globe. Tell us about your success.
Really? Wow, man. You guys are so flattering. I tell you, it's been really a magic carpet ride, you know. I want to say thank you to everybody who's encouraged me along the way, and words of encouragement, you know, my parents, my friends. And it's really been a real journey because when I started out maybe about 12 years ago, the music industry here was kind of quiet, right? I mean, there was some things happening, but on the ground, live-wise. But in terms of the actual business of music, there was much that needed to be done. So I was in a position then where I had to kind of become not just an artist but an executive as well, in order to facilitate the music I was making and have have a vehicle to take it to the world that was viable.
Yeah.
And so it took me a long time to do that. It took me years just to develop the acumen to be a good executive, in addition to being a good artist. And so I'm extremely pleased with where we find ourselves today, and it's a result of many different sort of so it's been a confluence of reasons why this is the way it is today. It's just a lot from, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Happening from many different directions.
Okay.
Please go ahead with your questions.
Congratulations on being the first Caymanian to top the Jamaican charts since the memory of the Justice Band in the 1980s. How does this accomplishment make you feel?
Well, you know, I feel great. I feel absolutely fantastic. MOJ was a big influence for me growing up. And even today, Mr. Charles Gregory is still somebody whom I have a lot of respect for. And it's in life you kind of have to stand on the shoulders of men that come before you.
Yeah.
In order to really get the most out of what you're trying to do. And so, yes, we've been able to take those examples and try to incorporate them into what we're doing. And it feels good to see the results. We really do believe that if we have the right vision, and the right amount of faith, and we're willing to do what it takes, that we can be successful. And so that is what I truly believe.
Thank you. That's great. That's amazing. So, Mr. Wilson, how did you get started with music?
I want to be absolutely honest with you. My guitar was the first thing I asked for as a child.
Wow, how old were you when
maybe about 6 when I started messing around with guitars.
Wow.
But it's because I feel like we all come into this world kind of quietly knowing who we are.
Yeah.
And I think each and every one of us have that seed in us that we know who we want to be. You know, as I look at my nieces, some of them, one of them just kind of naturally has a tendency towards kind of beautician skills.
Yeah.
And the other one is kind of more quiet and more reserved, and I see other sort of skills, another different kind of skill set. But so I think that we all come here, and as I'm getting, to be a sort of older gentleman now in my midlife, and I can see younger kids sort of developing that way. It reminds me of how I developed too, and it also reinforces what development really is. Yes.
Okay.
Stuart, I'm just jumping in here, and I'm not
Sure,
trying to
sure,
hijack
sure.
your show or
Mm,
anything.
sure.
Quick question here, Stuart. I mean that
Absolutely.
one of the things that we see plaguing Cayman is that far too often you aren't recognized
Mm-hmm.
locally
Mm-hmm.
until you've been accepted internationally or on a platform outside of the island.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's sad to say, but it Cayman didn't truly open up. And correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I understand, Cayman didn't. While the support was there,
Mm-hmm.
it did
Yeah.
not open up and accept you until the rest of the world saw what a true talent you really were.
Well, yes. I mean, this is an interesting sort of. This is an interesting topic. I think that it's multifaceted, and I think it's not necessarily a black and white one in terms of.
Yeah.
I think it's quite nuanced, and I've been thinking about this for a while, to be absolutely honest, Andrel. And I think that even in scripture, you look and it says, where a prophet is always without honor in his own hometown. Not that I'm a prophet, but it's just the sort of the kind of sentiment that it's trying to sort of portray.
Yeah.
And I feel like familiarity does breed contempt sometimes, and it's hard to kind of see the forest for the trees.
Yeah.
And what's happening now is that Cayman is getting bigger, and you don't quite know everyone anymore, like you used to growing up and stuff. So what I'm finding is that that is changing. Like my audience now, I feel like when I have a show, if I don't see one Caymanian, it's not really. I mean, it's not like I don't really. It's not. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's so many other people there. And, eventually I imagine that the people who have that stigma or suffer from that ailment will realize that they're missing out on something.
Yeah.
And so I don't really ever consider it too much. I just know that I have an audience that follows me around everywhere I go, and I need to kind of cater to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And feed them. So, but having said that, I am happy with the support that I get here from home, and the DJs treat me well on radio. The people treat me well in the streets. I really do feel love here at home. It's just I think that people, most people probably say, well, we're probably going to see Stuart at the supermarket next week, so we're not going to pay $25 to go see him at the mango tree. You know what I mean? And so I'm cool with that, especially if when they see me at the supermarket, they're nice to me and we talk and they ask me how I'm doing. I think that kind of makes up for them not being at the show itself, and maybe they can catch me further down the road,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Wilson. Say someone's listening to you right now and they're really interested in your music. Can you tell them like a little bit about your style and what they can get from listening to your music?
Right. Well, my style is really sort of a mix of all the things I've been influenced by. It's kind of John Lennon meets Bob Marley meets Lenny Kravitz meets God knows what else. You know what I mean? But I like to think that people who make music aren't just making music. I feel like we're either making medicine or poison.
Wow, that's deep.
And I really do think that it is a life of service. And I think about how music makes me feel, and the legacy I would want to leave is one that of making people feel good. And that's why I'm really doing music,
Yeah. So you play the guitar. Do you play any other instruments?
I play the drums, and I play the fool.
My dad says that one all the time.
So, but no, I do play some drums, and although the guitar is the instrument I quite like the best, simply because it's near my chest and I get good vibrations from it when I strum it, and it's kind of like a percussive instrument. There is some pathos there as well in terms of you can get some of your emotions out on the instrument as well.
Yeah, definitely. Now, Mr. Wilson, a lot of the times I've noticed, like when you're in school and you're in class and the teacher asks you, what career do you want to go into? And not even when they ask you, a lot of times the careers that are given are or a doctor, a lawyer. What do you have, like, advice that you have for the kids that want to go into music or arts?
Well, I would say that they're the kids that want to do law probably want to do it because they have a calling. They feel they want to do it. Now, I would hope that's why they're doing it.
Yeah.
And I would just say to a kid, if you like music and you really feel it from your heart and you feel like you can do something that can affect sort of people in a positive way, because it does. Just melody alone, if music is such a powerful thing.
It is.
If they really want to do music, just do music.
Okay.
You know what I mean? For me personally, I'm married to music, rich or poor, sickness or health.
Yep. Till death do you part.
Yeah, I've made a decision with my life, and come what may, and I want to make music, and that's it. If there's anything else, we'll have to kind of join that at the hip, because that's where it's at for me,
So if you're a kid out there and you want to go into music or the arts,
just do it.
Go for
that's
it.
what Nike, that's what That's what Nike's saying.
Yeah, just do it.
Just do it.
Yep, definitely.
You know what I mean? Yeah, man. This is such a nice gathering. What do you and since I'm here as a host, I don't mean to turn the tables on you guys, but what do you want to do when you're sort of finished with schooling?
When I'm finished with school, I want to be an anesthesiologist. So I want to put people to sleep for surgery.
Wow, that is very interesting. I feel like this is a whole show here that we could talk about this. and you, young man, the other co-host, what's your?
I want to become a director of photography.
All right, you bought a camera from me, and that was a few months. That was a little while back.
Like a year.
About a year ago, he bought a camera from me. The co-host, how fortuitous, and here we are today together. Are we going for a break now, or?
Yes, sir.
All
We'll
right,
be going for a music break now.
We have two other guests here. Am I playing my instrument? Or?